Hey guys, just wanted to show you my knife collection. It's my third time attempting to make this video and failing, so I'm going to try to speed it up because my phone keeps running out of memory when I try to talk too much. As you can see, I try to talk too much already. Okay, here we go. CRKT Minimalist. Super awesome knife. Can't recommend it more. Carried this knife on my neck for a lot of years. Boker Gnome. If you're just getting into knives and you like kind of different shaped knives and interesting designs, check out Boker. They really make a lot of interesting blade shapes in my opinion, and I just love these cute little small knives. They're kind of my thing. I really want to kind of start collecting more small knives. They're usually not real expensive, and they're cute, and for me they're really functional. They do everything a bigger knife does for me. I guess we'll keep going on the small knives. Spyderco Dragonfly, awesome knife. Love this wire pocket clip. This knife has taken over my pocket. I'll tell you, the last couple weeks, this one's in my pocket. If you haven't felt one of these, if you're a small knife guy, this, whatever, these knives freaking rock. This one's the FRN handle, and if you wear shorts or if you wear swim trunks in the summer around like I do a lot, this knife just disappears. It's like an ounce or something like that. It's just ridiculous. Here's one in G10 if you want kind of a little fancier, a little more heft in that size. Here's the G10. Really love that knife too. This one my girlfriend's pining over. I find it in her drawer every now and then. What else we got here? Kershaw Cryo, kind of a cult following budget knife. I think it's a really beautiful knife. I will be getting rid of this one, and this one coming up here. I wanted to make this review before I got rid of them just to show you these knives, but this knife is assisted, and you know, I'm just really not into assisted knives, it turns out. So I'll be getting rid of it. I like opening and closing my knives with one hand, which, oh, there you go, that's really easy to do. So I guess I like it to be easier to open and close with one hand, is what I should say, because you can see you can close it pretty easily with one hand, but I just don't need the assist. It's weird. I don't like it. A lot of people love this knife. For me, it's kind of a hunk of metal, and just doesn't really get much pocket time, so there you go. I can't remember what this knife is called. Boker, another Boker knife. A lot of people like this knife a lot. I think it's really pretty, but doesn't get pocket time. And I'll show you all the knives that do get my pocket time. They're all the Spydercos and the Benchmades. Those are pocket time knives, so I've kind of decided to just clear these other ones out. I kind of want my collection to more be a EDC user collection, not really just stuff that's sitting on the shelf. So, oh, I almost just cut myself with that one. This one, I got a couple of these knives from a forum member in a package, and he sharpened them up really freaking sharp. This knife just, I don't know what it is. The Kershaw, I'm not sure which model, I can't remember, but just doesn't really do it for me. It's a heavy old hunk of metal. Wow, he sharpened that up sharp. I think I just cut myself a little bit there. Benchmade Griptilian. Boom, boom. Cult following knife, followed knife. A lot of people love it. I can't even get it to flick out. I think this one's a little over tightened, but I don't like this knife either, and probably going to be getting rid of it. I do, however, love the Benchmade mini grip. That has a little bit more weight to it and is the right size for me. Just don't dig the grip, and I know a lot of people are exactly the opposite. They love the grip, don't like the mini grip. There's the Benchmade Griptilian. Mini grip, can't say enough good stuff about it. Look at that thing. Boom! Fires out. Closes. If you haven't played with one of these knives, I went and handled a lot of Benchmade knives in this knife store in Las Vegas off the strip. I handled maybe, I don't know, 50 Benchmade knives, and I came away with a great respect for the mini Griptilian because it just, to me, felt more quality than a lot of their more expensive knives. I don't know what it is. It just feels like a quality knife, and I've been trying to get myself one of these, which is how I ended up with this. I accidentally purchased this off a forum member thinking it was a mini grip. This one's my girlfriend's. She won't let me touch it. I got it for the review, but she won't let me carry it. Here's a mini barrage, which was my first Benchmade knife, and I really like this knife too. De-assisted, so that I can flick it out really quick and close it easily with the axis lock. Axis locks, go play with an axis lock. God damn, they are fun locks. I mean, they are such fun locks. And these are just quality knives. I really like the Benchmade knives. Next up, Spyderco Delica in FRN orange. Love this knife too. It's been getting a lot of pocket time lately. This clip looked like this after the first day I carried it, which I was a little disappointed with, but I think I might take it off and sand it a little bit. Get all that black just off there. I don't know what their paint with the Delicas just didn't hold up for some reason, but this knife is awesome. It's so thin. Look at this knife compared to, you know, these knives. They're so thin in the pocket. They're so light. They just disappear. And I never thought I cared about those things, about thinness and lightness in a pocket knife. Turns out I do. And the thin, light knives get my pocket time. They're the ones I want to carry. So there's a Delica. Get a Delica. Just get a Delica. Paramilitary 2, one of the most talked about knives, it seems like, on the internet, with a black coated blade. And I bought one of these clones from China to see if I'd like it. It was junk, so I bought a real one. I love it. I love it. This one doesn't get a super ton of pocket time either, though, because it turns out that I'm just a small knife guy, and when I reach into my shelf, I go for this one. For an everyday carry, and especially if I'm in shorts in the summer. I mean, I'm just not going to carry a big knife like this one. This one does everything that I need it to do. But this one is staying in my collection just because it's so freaking awesome. I love this knife. Okay, moving right along. Picked this one up at a thrift store. This is a cold steel Sanmai knife made in Ventura, California, with laminated steel. I don't know if you can see that line there. It's laminated steel. And I can't remember what this one's called either. It's like the Buddy or the Pal or something. It's got kind of this rubber handle, and this one my girlfriend steals from me. It ends up in her drawer all the time. She really likes this knife, and it's just a beast of a solid knife, and it's really sharp. I haven't even sharpened this. It's been sharp from the thrift store. So there's a cold steel, and Brous Silent Soldier flipper. Something about this knife. I like kind of unusually shaped knives, and this knife I pined over for a while and finally found it off from a forum user, for about $120, a lot less than they go for new. And I wanted a flipper also in my collection, and I really want to carry this knife more than I do. It's disappointing to me, but it's such a hunk of metal, man. And I had heard that before, so I kind of knew what I was getting into. But when I got it, I was just like, and it's like a third thicker than the Delica. When I got it, I was just a little disappointed with that. I was like, holy crap, this thing's such a hunk of metal. But it does feel awesome. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. The jimping's really cool on it, and it flies out like a little rocket. And I might keep this one in my collection too, just to have a flipper in there to maybe throw in my pocket when I go out for dinner or something like that. It's supposed to be a defensive knife, which I have no use really for that kind of thing. I can't imagine where I'd be fighting with a knife, but I do like this hole in it, and I do like holding like this, but for me it kind of reduces the utility, particularly for food prep, which I use my everyday knife carry for a lot. Brous Blades Silent Soldier flipper. Next knife, I gotta go quick because my battery's gonna die here. Mora Companion. If you're just getting into knives, get a Mora. They're like $12, and they're super awesome. And look at that patina. I really, really like that patina. That's what happens when a carbon steel knife, I guess, reacts or oxidizes with acids or other food and air, called a patina. This knife's really light, really sharp, and they're like 12 to 20 bucks for the different Mora models. Love it. Essie Zula, another kind of cult knife. Really cool. Really dig that one. And I have this guy that I got from a thrift store, and it's a little gritty. I tried to kind of clean it up and restore it. Victorinox, another kind of knife that you see in a lot of guys' collections. And I'll show you a couple of knives that you may not have seen before, a little unusual. This is actually a pretty cheap knife, and it's from Russia. It's a hunting knife from Russia with 65 by 13 steel, or 65x13, or I don't know how they pronounce that, but I guess it's like a 440 steel with a wood and a cork handle. My dad brought this back from Russia for me, and I thought it was a much more expensive knife than it actually is. It's only like a $30 knife. However, I did try to skin an animal with it, and it didn't really do so well, so I don't know what the deal is. I might need to try to resharpen it or something, or I might get rid of it. I don't know yet. And last, I'll just end with a knife you may not see super often. There are some reviews of it, and it's a Kislar Supreme. I really like this knife. My dad brought it back for me from Russia too, with D2 steel. And I will say, hopefully before my battery runs out, it comes with this burly sheath, and my girlfriend had never seen one of these Kydex sheaths. And instead of pushing with her thumb, she kind of grabbed it like this or something, I don't know, and pulled this knife out and sliced a good chunk of her pinky off, and we had to take her to the hospital. So these D2 knives, I mean, when it came shaving sharp, sharper than shaving sharp, I guess, hair whittling or whatever, and caused a severe injury, but this is a really cool knife. I really like it too. So that's my collection. Thanks for watching, and take care.